Hello Year 6, welcome to another week of maths lessons. This week we are going to be looking at the area and perimeter of different shapes. Before we get into the main part of our lesson though, as usual we've got our daily arithmetic practice. If you find the questions hard today, don't worry. Remember the questions will stay the same for the rest of the week, just with different digits, okay? And I will explain them after you've done them. So pause the video now and give them a go. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to try these questions. Question 1 then is a column subtraction. So you would just need to make sure that you lined your digits up in the correct columns. Okay. First of all, you would start with the ones column and you would ask yourself, what is 1 take away 6? Well, if I've only got one thing, I can't take away 6 from it, so I'm going to need to exchange. First, I would look at my tens column, and that's not going to help me. I can't exchange anything from there. Then I look at my hundreds column, that doesn't help me either. So I've got to go to my thousands column, and I am going to exchange 1000 for 10 hundreds. So I end up with a 10 in my hundreds column. This still doesn't help me over here in my ones column though, so I'm going to need to exchange again. So this time I'm exchanging 100 for 10 tens. Still doesn't help me in my ones column, so I exchange again, and I'm exchanging 10 for 10 ones. Okay, now I've got 11 take away 6, so now I can do it. So 11 take away 6 is 5, 9 take away 6 is 3, 9 take away 8 is 1, 3 take away 3 is 0. So the answer to question 1 is 135. Okay, question 2 is the exact same idea. It's still a column subtraction. However, the tricky part here is to line up the digits correctly. So my 1 is in the ones column, so it needs to go under the 0 of my 50. I'll need two placeholders in here, and then I can do my column subtraction. 0 take away 8 I can't do, so once again I'm going to have to exchange, and I'm going to need to go to that tens column to do that. Okay, I've got 10 ones now, I still need to exchange. Right, 10 take away 8 is 2, 9 take away 5 is 4, 9 take away 1 is 8, 4 take away nothing is 4. So the answer is 48.42. Remember, you must remember your decimal point in your answer. Okie dokes. Question 3, we are doing a decimal times by a whole number. Now, unlike column subtraction, when we're timesing by a decimal, we don't want to line up the digits in the correct columns. So this time around, you'd set it out exactly as I have set mine out on the screen. If you set it out with the 8 underneath the 1 in the ones column, you won't get the right answer. Okay, first of all then we're going to do 3 times 8, which is 24, 2 times 8, which is 16, add my 2, gives me 18. Remember my decimal point, and then I do 1 times 8 is 8, add my 1, gives me 9. So the answer is 9.84. Okay, question 4, I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time explaining today because we were doing this kind of question last week. It says, what is 81% of 240? So the trick with this one is, first of all, you need to find 1% of 240, and 1% here is 2.4. Then you would do 2.4 times by 81, and the answer you get is 194.4. Okay, question 5, 1.5 times 40. Now we had this kind of question on your arithmetic test on Friday. Hopefully you've remembered how to do it, but if not, remember you need to break it down into the different parts. So first of all, ask yourself what 1 times 40 is. 1 times 40 is 40. Next, you're going to ask yourself what half of 40 is. Half of 40 is 20, and you want those two numbers added together. So 40 add 20 gives the answer 60. Okay. And question 6, it's a short division. So we would use the bus stop method. Okay, and we would first ask ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 1? It doesn't, so that's a 0, and we would carry the 1. How many times does 3 go into 13? It goes in 4 times, and 4 times 3 is 12, so we have 1 left over, which we carry to the next column. How many times does 3 go into 16? It goes in 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. There's 1 left over, so we carry that over to the next column. How many times does 3 go into 18? The answer is 6. So the answer to that question is 456. Okay, some of you would have had a go at the stretch this morning. If you did, the answer to question 1 is 59,469, and the answer to question 2 is 36. All right, year 6, well done with those. Next we are going on to our times table practice. So as we did the last couple of weeks, give yourself a minute, 1 minute, time yourself and have a go at these times tables. Okay, year 6, hopefully you've got on all right with those. Now we're going into the main part of our lesson. So our I can today is I can find the perimeter of a range of shapes. Now, first of all, some of you might be thinking, I don't remember what perimeter is. That is the first thing we need to know. So perimeter is like the edge of a shape. The way I like to remember it is perimeter has got the word rim in it, and rim is like the edge of a shape. So we're imagining we're going all the way around a shape or building a fence around a shape. Some people like to think of it as. So first of all, I'm looking at my yellow rectangle on the screen. And in this question, they've told us that the length of the rectangle is 4 centimetres and the height of this rectangle, or the width of this rectangle, is 2 centimetres. Okay. I want you to pause the video now and see if you can think about what the length of this side of the rectangle will be and what the length of this side of the rectangle will be, because they haven't told us that. Okay, year 6, hopefully you know then that in a rectangle, opposite sides are always equal. So if it's 4 centimetres on this side, we know it's going to be 4 centimetres on this side. And if it's 2 centimetres on this side, it must be 2 centimetres on this side. Okay, when we're finding the perimeter of a shape, we use what we know to find the missing lengths, which is what we've just done, and then all we do is add up the length of the sides. So I would do 4, add 2, add 4, add 2. Okay, which gives me the answer 12. So the yellow shape has got a perimeter of 12 centimetres. Okay, it's really important that when you're measuring perimeter, you remember your unit. Sometimes it might be centimetres, sometimes it might be metres, but they're very different things. So 12 centimetres for the yellow shape. Okay, the red shape then, this time it's not a rectangle. It is a square this time round. So they have told us that one of the lengths of one of the sides of this square is 5 centimetres. We need to pause the video and see if you can work out what the lengths of the other sides are then. Okay, hopefully you very quickly came to the realisation that if it's a square and one of the sides is 5 centimetres, the other sides must be 5 centimetres as well, because a square's got 4 equal sides. So we then know that each of the sides of this square is also 5 centimetres. Okay, so final key to success, add all the lengths of the sides together. 5 add 5 add 5 add 5 gives me the answer 20 centimetres. So the perimeter of the red shape is 20 centimetres. And finally the blue shape then. I think you're probably feeling confident enough by now to just pause the video and work out the perimeter of that shape. Okay, so we would have had two sides which were 6 centimetres each, which in total is 12 centimetres, and two sides which were 10 centimetres each, which in total is 20 centimetres. So altogether the perimeter of this blue rectangle is 32 centimetres. Okay then, Year 6, this is our Fluency 1 task then. I would like you to pause the video and try to find the perimeter of each of those 8 shapes on the screen. The first 4 are rectangles, the next 4 are squares. Okay, Year 6, hopefully you got on okay with that. I'm going to go through the answers now then. So number 1, the answer is 20. Number 2, 22. Sorry, I should say each of these are centimetres. So number 1, the answer is 20 centimetres. Number 2, the answer is 22 centimetres. Number 3, the answer is 14 centimetres. Number 4, the answer is 8 centimetres. It was slightly trickier there because it had some decimals in it, but you still used the same keys to success. Number 5, the answer is 24 centimetres. Number 6, the answer is 32 centimetres. Number 7, it's 60 centimetres. And number 8, again a little bit trickier with some decimals, it's 28.8 centimetres. Okay, we're now going to have a look at our Fluency 2. So we're still finding the perimeter of shapes, but this time they're not squares and rectangles. Okay, we've got some other shapes, but just something to note here. It says these are all regular polygons. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video now and see if you can remember what a regular polygon is. Okay, this is something that children often struggle to remember. A regular polygon or a regular shape is a shape that has all equal sides and all equal angles. The important part of that for us today is the equal sides part. A polygon is just a fancy word for a 2D shape, or a shape that has 3 or more sides. Okay, but what we need to remember here is these shapes all have the same length of sides. Okay, so looking at my blue shape, hopefully you know it's a triangle. They've told us the length of one of the sides of that triangle. They said it's 4 centimetres. Now we know that that is a regular triangle or an equilateral triangle. So if one side is 4 centimetres, the other 2 sides must also be 4 centimetres. So what I can do here, actually, if I know one side is 4 centimetres and the shape has 3 sides, to find out the perimeter, I can do 4 times 3. So I'm doing the length given multiplied by the number of sides of the shape. So my triangle then has a perimeter of 12 centimetres. Okay, next, my yellow shape. I want you to pause the video and see if you can remember or work out what type of shape it is. Okay, the yellow shape then is what we call a pentagon. Remember, it's a regular pentagon. So if one side measures 5 centimetres, the other side must measure 5 centimetres. There are 5 sides in this shape, so what I need to do is the length given multiplied by the number of sides. I'm going to do 5 times 5. So the perimeter of this shape is 25 centimetres. Okay, next then, my red shape. I want you to pause the video and have a go at finding the perimeter of that shape by yourself. Okay, my red shape is an octagon. It's an 8-sided shape. They have said one of the sides measures 6 centimetres, so we're going to do 6 times 8, and 6 times 8 gives us the answer 48 centimetres. Okay, your task then for Fluency 2 is on the screen. There are 4 shapes there. I would like you to find the perimeter of each of those shapes. Okay, year six. Hopefully you've had a go at that. Number one, then, the answer you should have got is 30 centimetres. Number two, the answer is 11 centimetres. Number three, the answer is 42 centimetres. And number four, the answer is 21.5 centimetres. Okay, I'm sure you're doing a great job at home, year six then. We've done our fluency now. We've had a look at fluency 1, we've had a look at fluency 2, and we're going to take it up a notch now. Okay, we're still finding the perimeter of shapes, but this time we're moving on to our problem solving. Okay, and these are the kind of questions that you will get today when you log into maths.co.uk to complete your problem solving. It's this sort of question that you're going to encounter. So I'm going to start off with this rectangle question. They have given us some information in the picture. They've showed us that the width of the rectangle is 7 centimetres. They've told us that the perimeter of the rectangle is 50 centimetres. But they've asked me to find the length. Okay, so I need to think carefully about this question and use what I know to work out the answer. So the width is 7, so I know that this side of the rectangle is 7. Well, so that tells me that this side of the rectangle must also be 7. So I've got 7 centimetres, add whatever this missing length is, gives me the answer 50 centimetres. And I've just realised I've made a little mistake there. I shouldn't have put 7. Okay, I should have put 14 because it was 2 lots of 7, wasn't it? So I've got 14, add something, gives me the answer 50. Okay, well if I work backwards then, if I take that 14 off from my 50, I've got 36. So whatever these two lengths are here, they add up to 36 in total. But I've got two sides to add up to 36. So I've got to do 36 divided by 2. And if I do 36 divided by 2, or half of 36, the answer to that is 18. So I'm just writing that in there. So I think each side must equal 18. Well, let's just check that then. Let's just add it up and make sure that I am right. So 7 add 7 gives me 14. Add my 18 gives me 32. Add another 18 gives me the answer 50. So each length must be 18 centimetres. Okay, next then, I've got this funny looking shape here. Now, they love a question like this in problem solving when it comes to perimeter. I mean, this is what we'd call a rectilinear shape. It's a shape made up of rectangles, essentially. So they've given us some of the measurements, and we've got to find out the perimeter. Now, the problem is here, they haven't given us the measurement of this side. There's no measurement there. And they haven't given us the measurement of this side either. So before I can work out the perimeter by adding up all the lengths, I've got to use what I know to find the length of any missing sides. Now, I know this side is 10 centimetres, so I know that the length of this must be 10 centimetres as well. But this length here doesn't go all the way across like that. So it's going to be less than 10 centimetres, and I've got to look up here to use this bit of knowledge to help me. So all the way across is 10 centimetres, but then from here to here is 4 centimetres, so I've got to take that off. So from here to here must therefore be 6 centimetres. So that red part that I've underlined must be 6 centimetres. Next then, I'm going to have a think about this part here and what that might be. So I know from here to here is 10 centimetres, so that tells me from here to here must be 10 centimetres. But again, I don't want all of that, I only want this little part. So I've got to look at this number here to help me. So that is 10 centimetres. This part is 7 centimetres. This part here must be 3 centimetres. Now I've got the length of all my missing sides, I'm on to my final step in my keys to success. I just need to add them all up. So I'm going to do 10, add 7, add 6, add 3, add 4, add 10. So if you want to pause the video now and have a go at adding all those numbers up together. Okay, year 6, hopefully you had a go at that. And the answer we were looking for this question then was 40 centimetres. Okay, the perimeter of this rectilinear shape is 40 centimetres. Okay. The final thing in my video today then is just to show you a couple of the kind of questions that you will get if you have a go at the stretch today. Now, today, stretch is actually on a sheet which you will find in the files folder. So I would like everyone to have a go at the main activity on maths.co.uk, but then if you do want to challenge or stretch yourself today, there is an additional sheet in the maths folder where you can find this kind of question. Okay, so Lara has some identical rectangles. They are 7 centimetres long and 2 centimetres wide, and they've given us a picture of that. 7 centimetres long, 2 centimetres wide. She uses 5 of her rectangles to make the large rectangle below. What is the perimeter of her large rectangle? Okay, so we've got to use what they've told us here to work out the perimeter. If you pause the video now and have a go, and then I will go through the answer. Okay, using what we know then, we know the width of the small rectangle is 2 centimetres. So the width of the small rectangle here is also going to be 2, and 2 more, and 2 more, and 2 more, and 2 more. So across the top then we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So in total, the length of that rectangle then is going to be 10 centimetres all the way across the top. If that's 10 centimetres on the top, it's got to be the same on the bottom. It's got to be 10 centimetres on the bottom. Now we just need to know the width of this rectangle. So we need to look at the length of the smaller rectangle, which was 7 centimetres, and that is the width of our larger rectangle. So if it's 7 centimetres on the left, it's got to be also 7 centimetres on the right. And then I can add up the lengths of all my sides. 10, add 7, add 10, add 7, which gives us the answer 34 centimetres. Okay. The next question I've got here, again the same kind of idea. So Lauren has 3 small equilateral triangles and 1 large equilateral triangle. Remember, an equilateral triangle means that the sides measure the same length. Okay. The small triangles have sides of 7 centimetres. Lauren makes this shape. What is the perimeter? Okay, pause the video now and have a little think, see if you can work out the answer, and then I will share my thinking with you. Okie dokes then, year 6. Looking at this then, we know it's 7 centimetres across the top there. It's an equilateral triangle, so it's also going to be 7 centimetres down this side, and it's also going to be 7 centimetres over here. Right. The next thing I want to know is how long this side is then. And to know that, I've got to look up here, because again, they're equilateral triangles. This side, whatever this side is going to be the same as whatever this side is here. Now, this side here, I know it's got to be 14 centimetres because I've got an equilateral triangle here that has a side of 7 centimetres, and it's right next to another equilateral triangle with a side of 7 centimetres. So if that side is 14 centimetres, this side must also be 14 centimetres. And the same with this side, it must also be 14 centimetres. So then I've got 14, add 14, add 7, add 7, add 7, which gives me the answer 49 centimetres. Okay. As usual, don't panic too much if I've lost you a little bit at the end there. Those are just the kind of questions that you'll get if you choose to do the stretch activity today. Okay, yeah, then year six, that's it from me. Your problem solving is on maths.co.uk, and then there is also that stretch if you wish.